a satirical take on societal absurdity and resilience. This narrative excerpt presents a satirical and comedic story centered around Stephanie, a socialite, and Felix, her friend, as she navigates being kidnapped. The story uses humor and absurdity to critique the normalization of societal injustices and celebrate resilience in the face of adversity. It highlights themes of defiance, survival, and the importance of maintaining one's identity even in chaotic situations. The kidnapping and initial reaction. The story begins with Felix receiving a call from Stephanie, who casually informs him that she is detained in the trunk of a car. Felix's initial shock and concern contrast sharply with Stephanie's nonchalant attitude. This juxtaposition sets the tone for the rest of the story, where serious situations are met with humor and a refusal to be victimized. And Stephanie's detainment, Stephanie's calm demeanor while being kidnapped, underscores her resilience and refusal to be defined by her circumstances. And Felix's reaction, Felix's over-the-top reaction, including his dramatic pronouncements in the street, adds to the comedic effect and emphasizes the absurdity of the situation. Unearned social commentary. The narrative uses the kidnapping as a vehicle to comment on corporate sabotage and the everyday absurdities of modern life, Stephanie's resourcefulness and defiance. Throughout the ordeal, Stephanie demonstrates remarkable resourcefulness and a refusal to be intimidated. She uses a vintage earring to try to open the trunk, critiques the quality of the vehicle, and continues to manage her business affairs despite her predicament. And resourcefulness. Stephanie's ability to use an earring to attempt to escape highlights her ingenuity and determination. In critique of criminals, her complaints about the vehicle and the kidnapper's lack of sophistication add a layer of satire to the story. And maintaining control, Stephanie's continued focus on the murder dinner and sushi order demonstrates her refusal to let the kidnapping disrupt her life. Felix's over-the-top response and support. Felix's reaction to Stephanie's kidnapping is characterized by dramatic pronouncements, frantic running, and an overall sense of chaos. However, beneath the surface, his actions reveal a deep concern for Stephanie and a willingness to do whatever it takes to help her. And dramatic flair. Felix's theatrical behavior, including his interactions with his reflection and random strangers, amplifies the comedic effect. Underlying concern. Despite his over-the-top antics, Felix is genuinely worried about Stephanie's safety and well-being. On loyalty and support. His willingness to drop everything and rush to her aid demonstrates his loyalty and support. The alley reunion and continued absurdity. The story culminates in a reunion between Stephanie and Felix in a graffiti-covered alley. Despite the serious nature of the situation, their interaction is filled with banter, humor, and a sense of normalcy. And Stephanie's flawlessness, Stephanie's appearance and demeanor upon being rescued underscore her resilience and refusal to be defined by her experience. Continued banter. The exchange between Stephanie and Felix highlights their close friendship and shared sense of humor. And return to normalcy. Their immediate focus on the sushi order and other mundane tasks emphasizes their ability to move on from the traumatic event. Themes of resilience and defiance. The story explores themes of resilience, defiance, and the importance of maintaining one's identity in the face of adversity. Stephanie's character embodies these themes as she refuses to be victimized and continues to assert her agency even in the most challenging circumstances. Refusal to be victimized. Stephanie's nonchalant attitude and proactive approach to her kidnapping demonstrate her refusal to be defined by her circumstances. And maintaining identity, her continued focus on her appearance and business affairs underscores her determination to maintain her identity. Defiance against injustice. The story can be interpreted as a broader commentary on the importance of standing up against injustice and refusing to accept the normalization of societal absurdities. Author's note and intent. The author's note provides insight into the story's underlying message and intent. It explains that the story is a response to the redefinition of the word detained and a critique of the normalization of societal injustices. Critique of redefinition. The author criticizes the use of detained to justify various forms of mistreatment and injustice. While a celebration of resilience, the story celebrates the resilience and defiance of individuals who refuse to be defined by their circumstances. One call to action. The author's note can be interpreted as a call to action, urging readers to challenge injustice and fight for human dignity, the use of humour and satire. The story employs humour and satire to convey its message and engage the reader. The comedic elements serve to highlight the absurdity of the situation and make the story more accessible. Highlighting absurdity, the use of humour underscores the ridiculousness of the kidnapping and the characters' reactions. Engaging the reader, the comedic elements make the story more entertaining and engaging, drawing the reader in and making them more receptive to the underlying message. And as social commentary, the satire allows the author to critique societal norms and injustices in a way that is both entertaining and thought-provoking. Character analysis. Stephanie. Stephanie is portrayed as a strong, independent and resourceful woman who refuses to be defined by her circumstances. Her nonchalant attitude and proactive approach to her kidnapping demonstrate her resilience and defiance. Strength and independence. Stephanie's ability to handle the kidnapping with composure and resourcefulness highlights her strength and independence. And resourcefulness, her use of an earring to attempt to escape, demonstrates her ingenuity and problem-solving skills. And defiance, her refusal to be victimized, and her continued focus on her business affairs underscore her defiance. Character analysis. Felix. Felix is portrayed as a loyal and supportive friend who is willing to go to great lengths to help Stephanie. His over-the-top reactions and dramatic pronouncements add to the comedic effect of the story. Loyalty and support. Felix's willingness to drop everything and rush to Stephanie's aid demonstrates his loyalty and support. And comedic relief. His dramatic behaviour provides comedic relief and amplifies the absurdity of the situation. Underlying concern, despite his over-the-top antics, Felix is genuinely worried about Stephanie's safety and well-being. Conclusion. In conclusion, this excerpt is a satirical and comedic exploration of resilience, defiance, and the absurdity of modern life. Through the characters of Stephanie and Felix, the story critiques the normalization of societal injustices and celebrates the importance of maintaining one's identity in the face of adversity. The author's note provides further insight into the story's underlying message and intent, urging readers to challenge injustice and fight for human dignity, all while recognizing the power and importance of humor in the face of adversity. Engagement and enjoyment. Most engaging, the initial kidnapping scene and Felix's over-the-top reaction were the most engaging. Less compelling, the author's note, while informative, felt somewhat didactic compared to the narrative. Writing style and author's voice. Writing style. The writing is vibrant and fast-paced, with a strong emphasis on dialogue and comedic timing. Author's voice. The author's voice is distinctive and sassy, blending humour with social commentary. Non-out aspects. The use of sensory details to create vivid scenes, e.g. the alley description, and the characters' witty banter. Themes and messages. And key themes: resilience in the face of adversity, defiance against injustice, and the absurdity of modern life. And resonance. The themes resonated due to the humorous yet poignant portrayal of dealing with difficult situations. The reclaiming of Detained felt particularly relevant. Similar writers or works, and reminiscent of, the style is reminiscent of early Sex and the City for its fashion-forward characters and witty dialogue, and some of Christopher Moore's satirical novels for the blend of humour and social commentary. The over-the-top reactions also remind me of some episodes of Schitt's Creek. In summary, the episode's strengths lie in its engaging plot, distinctive writing style, and relevant themes, making it an enjoyable and thought-provoking read, even if the author's note felt a little heavy-handed in comparison.